Right, good evening everybody. Hope everybody's fine and doing well. Keep your chin up. Remember, we're all fighting for the same cause. At the end of the day, I fight to try to protect the children, and if I can get as much information out there to be able to protect our children and grow up not being brainwashed and grow up learning what our law is and their own rights, then they'll realise they've got more freedom than we've ever had in our beginning. So, as I said, please go and watch my other videos on here if you haven't. There's many breakdowns. In my eyes, I feel that law doesn't really need to be broken down too much. It's just more likely to get past the matrix and all the glitches and all the distractions inside it. Because remember, all information is a distraction. So unless you can learn to take your power back, then you'll be able to learn to sit back and take information in completely different instead of just holding on to it. So for me, I'm doing this because if I can find people with the right balance and they can get past the illusion, obviously, again, please go and do your own research if this is new to you. So commonlaw61.com. As I say, in my view, they're the basics that you need. And even on them basics, let it empower you and do not let it hold you in. It may be a shock if you're new to this, and it might not be if you're not. But it might be hard for you to get out because we all feel that we might have to beat each corporation bit by bit, and there may be all different procedures of doing it. But again, there's only different procedures if you get involved with that legal statute. And again, anyone in a legal statute or any legal position is actually illegal under the law. Again, they created this through your birth certificate. So remember, when you stop playing as your name and stop letting people claim on your name, you'll be break free. So, as I say, I can't help you get through the fear of someone else owning your arse. That's unfortunately down to you. But as I said, if you do enough research into many stuff, if you're new as well and you haven't done before the Cabal or Out of the Shadows, or you've never heard of Decode Your Reality before, or who else, there's many people out there. And again, as I say, not everyone holds the truth, only you can hold your own truth. But to find that, we have to read between the lines and recognise that anyone hissing and using bad language towards you is simply a crime against you. And I know that might sound really pathetic, but again, to recognise the crime is to realise how someone's speaking to you, what words are being used against you, and what tone. And again, if you do not want to be around that, then let it go and move on. So I just want to start with this. Forces that's been programmed into you. So when they say, oh, you've got dark forces on you, then we've all got dark forces on us because we've all been programmed with dark forces to accept that the world, the way it runs, is acceptable. So, for example, anyone that says you're a conspiracy theorist, then I can't be, because they've told you about Epstein and they've told you about other people on the TV. The difference is you haven't got the balls to look any further, because if you did, then you might have to do something about it. But anyway, that's just for those that call people conspiracy theorists. Again, we're all on the same journey, and when people suck it up, buck ups, and realise what's actually going on behind the scenes of your distracted media, then you'll realise that there is bigger things to be fighting for. And as I say, I appreciate anyone that's fighting back, but in my eyes, we need to start doing it properly. And for those that are out there, in legal challenges and saying that they're, awake to us being lied to, then there is a little bit further to go. And as I say, when we let go and we say no, because anyone that does their research correctly will hear the word do not consent. You're not obliged to consent. It is simple as that, you know, and then everything else on top. You got to do it like this, and you don't stand in a court like this because you give your jurisdiction. Let's put it straight and simple and fucking easy. You only lose your jurisdiction when you give that up. No one's going to take your jurisdiction. So again, when you lose your energy to somebody else, you're a failure. And if you're failing, then you need to recognise why you're failing, and that's because you're still in fear of someone else owning your ass. Again, I do not stand for bullshit. Leno toolkit. So again, I'm trying to help people, but I know there is people that watch this that try to criticise, and unfortunately, you'll be criticising the wrong man, because I know too much to be criticised. But for those that want to learn and stand under their own sovereignty as a man and stop letting people make claim, not just that. Remember, once you learn how this works, every corporation, every business, every statue, every job, regardless of what it is dead. And it has all been dissolved. Monarchy, acts, statues since 2001. And even before then, to be fair, because common law has been around since the dawn of time. And the only reason that we don't know it is because we were being brainwashed and taught incorrectly, so we could divide and be the job and be the doors to stop people from having their freedom. You know, that's what jobs are. They're just stop gaps for people to try to get any further. So, you know, and I'm sure there's many of us out there, you know, there's some people that I know that were football players, and they should have been, even myself, should have gone further than we did, but our face didn't fit. And I'm sure that many people in many situations can agree that if your face doesn't fit, then sometimes you can lose out on what you was running after in the first place. So again, a job is just a position. There is completely different from being a man, because a man that leaves his job just wants to live his life in peace, abundance, and be happy, and for his family to be happy. A job is just something that you go to do to pay the system fraudulently because you've been blinded to and tricked. So, as I say, let's go on to perverting the course of justice. And it says here to commit an offence under common law. So the first one says no conspiring and acting. So I am going to take this easy and slowly because I want people to learn. And if you don't learn and we don't know how to use these words correctly against the people that are conspiring against us, because let's be honest, everything in the system is conspiring to get paid legal fiction money. So again, let me just jump over to here. And I've already got it here, and I did show this once before, but let's go through that. So as you can see, conspire to plan in secret. So let's just have a couple of examples on corporations and statues that conspire. Now, let's think about it. If you do not consent for someone to come to your house, and there needs to be an appointment or you to know about it for anyone to be able to come on your land without trespassing, then you would realise that everyone is to plans in secret, because what they do is they sit in a room. So, for example, let's just give an example. If I always like using the police, so let's use the police. If you're driving down the road and the police have got an operation sting on because they're checking for non-insurance drivers, for example, then before they come out and did that, they planned to do that without letting anybody know. Anybody. If they told everybody they were going to go out and they were going to go and do this, then they might have some reason to still do it. But still saying that, they've got no right doing that, even if they did tell you they were going out. And the reason is because they can't go out breaking their own Data Protection Act to spy on you, because that's all it is a spying on you, and it's illegal. So they plan in secret. They're going to go and do a road traffic stop, see who's got insurance, and then what they do is they stand there with a gun reading your number plate, which again is data protection, and police are meant to be using them acts to uphold and not use against you, which they are. So that would make it illegal. And it says against someone's wishes. So you can see that if anyone is trying to read your data from any camera, doesn't have to be just a policeman, any camera that you flash in, speed, fine, everything, that corporation is going against your wishes, yeah, and acting illegal, conspiring, yeah. Let me just see it. Look, plotting and trapping. So they're plotting and entrapment, basically. Yeah. Here you go. Conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theory. So this means that when we tell you that the government and its secret societies that it's got hand in hand to are planning secret military operations and more to keep the people controlled. That's why we keep trying to warn you, but you keep telling us that we are conspiracy theorists. And the reason that we keep telling you is because these people keep conspiring and taking your tax money, taking your money through fake tax and much more. So again, you know, let's understand our wordings before we start making judgment on anyone, because as I said, it's getting strong now, and I'd rather people be standing next to me wanting to learn stuff than shouting at me going, you don't know anything, or trying to thingy, because at the end of the day, I can put this in so many different ways that is unbelievable. And this is not even the touch of the iceberg of what I'm doing. I just feel in my heart that this is the most important in the awakening, so everyone else can then find their self-balance in their own life without worrying about anyone coming to their door, because they know they can protect themselves. And then that gives them an easier, different vibe to go and learn more. And in that sense, with knowing your law, knowing that you haven't got to worry about someone coming to your door, and knowing how to deal with it and giving you that power back, will might open your eyes to see other things that you might not see before. As I say, everything comes in signs and patterns. It's just recognizing them, yeah. And if you recognize them, then have a look. If something keeps coming to you from different angles, but it's the same subjects or the same thing, then have a look, because it's calling you. Yeah, it's called your calling. You know, people out there, they get this calling to learn parts of the law, but they're not willing to go any further because they don't want to believe it. You are having a calling, and unfortunately, if you like it or not, if you understand, you need to go a little bit further, because I know there's a lot of people stuck. And again, I haven't got anything to gain, because I wouldn't be doing this if I not had an open mind and did my own research and get rid of the bullshit, so that could lead me all the way back to this. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what information out there is, if you don't know how to stand up in your own pair of balls in your own sex, then there's no point doing any of this in the first place, is it? It's about the people coming together, and to do that, we all have to have common knowledge and common sense to come together. So that's just my view. At the end of the day, we've all been lied to, we've all been divided, so we've got to find some balance to figure this out. So the best way to do it is to learn this and protect yourself against anyone that is illegal. Because again, everything legal is illegal, because everyone conspires to get paid. Yeah, and only you can play the system to your advantage, getting rid of what you don't need and only paying for the things that you do need, while you're trying to wake everybody else up in this mess. Here you go. To conspire, also make something happen that is difficult to do. Yeah, so if someone's coming to your house like a bailiff and there's no contract, then they're coming with, they've planned in secret, they've sold your data, which is conspiring against your wishes because you don't consent, makes them bad and illegal, and now they're going to come to your property, trespass, harass you with fake writing and make it difficult for you, yeah, where you won't need to, if you can understand this. Right, so let's just do the act. I know I've done this before, but you have to do it because other people don't see it So have a look on my other videos if you haven't. They're all on here. So look, it says here to act, behave. To behave in a stated way. So, for example, if police have an oath to protect and serve and you're paying their wages to protect and serve, and then they come and pull you up and obstruct you, which is a form of conspiring, yeah, that means that they're behaving in a stated way, yeah, to do something for a purpose. Well, that purpose is to be paid paper money, yeah, to have an effect. So if anyone's causing you harm, loss and injury and anxiety or anything on them levels of vibration, then they're giving you an effect which is causing you to fight back or to argue back. Again, as I say, the more that you let go of it and recognise what they're doing wrong, the more that you can use the law on it, and the more chance you'll get through. Again, let's have a look at this. It says an act to perform, part of a film. So we're all playing a part of the film. Yeah, we're all acting the fool and we're all acting the martyr. And the reason is because, think of it like this. Any job that you go to, yeah, to go and you have an interview, yeah? When you have an interview, you get a job description, yeah? Just like a film play gets a script to read on the movie. The only difference is you don't read your script out. You just do your script because you're performing an act, yeah, under a corporation, which corp means dead and operation means machine. So realistically, we're all in a state of mind, yeah, to get paid. Right, let me stay on track, because otherwise I can go off in so many different directions and I want to keep it easy and simple. Right, behaviour, act, performance. So as I said before, when a policeman goes to work, or when I said earlier that we're completely different from our job to being a man, yeah, because when you're at work, you put your work head on and you become your performance, and depending on how good you are, you know, you might be a good salesman, you might be a good mechanic, you might be a good whatever, you might be good at whatever, but realistically it hides the real feelings and our intentions. So if you're a policeman, for example, or you're a bailiff, that bailiff might be just a normal man like me and you trying to earn a living, and then suddenly he's been told that he's got to go out and put these acts or these legislations or these statute of his fear-mongering propaganda bullcrap to come round and scare you into payment. Well, it's just performing. It's just his behaviour is to have an effect on you. Yeah. Just another thing I'd like to point out, because I know there's a lot of things and a lot of people will hear the word person. A person is a group, by the way. A person is group, like a group of person. The person isn't you. The occupier is not you. And anything else that they describe you to think that you are you, yeah, is not. Remember, to win this war, you're a man now, or a woman. You are nothing but your sex. If you want to be anything else, then you're nothing but a fictional character, yeah? So let's try to learn to step out and let people make claim, because the quicker we stop letting people make claim on us, the quicker we don't have to get involved with the touche bullshit. Yeah? It says act. A law, yeah, well, remember, a law is land, air and water. Do no harm, do no loss, do no injury. No victim, no crime. Common sense to me, to be fair. And just take responsibility for your own actions. And I always say know the difference between right and wrong, but realistically, if you haven't caused a victim, then who says you're doing anything wrong in the first place? So again, your world's your oyster, and an act is just, I wouldn't like to say a formal decision, because I don't think it's law or formal. And the reason is because parliament or parley means speak and ment means lies in French. So in my mind, that this act is made by, because it says made there. It can't say a law or formal decision made. Yeah, it doesn't make sense because, as I said, law is what I've just described. Formal decision is when someone writes something on a bit of paper and make it up because that's what they want at the time, and then it's down to you if you follow. Where normally we would think that would be the right way to do it, but it's nothing but a brick wall stopping you from getting past. So, as I say, Parliament, parley is in French speak, and ment is lies. So Parliament speak lies. So, they'd just like to tell you. To do something for a particular purpose or in a particular way. Yeah, so law enforcement. Everyone's saying about law enforcement. Well, law is land, air and water, and enforcement means this. And remember that they're all actors. Yeah, they're all actors. Sorry, guys. Fingers are too big. I push the wrong button sometimes. A bit lazy in that aspect. Right, enforcement. So again, if anyone says law enforcement, well, again, under common law, yeah, common knowledge, common ground, common respect. Common means to share, and again, common ground means land, air, and water. So again, if you have someone that's meant to be upholding an oath, and then has enforcement or civil enforcement on the back, because that's what we see, civil enforcement, they do contradict each other, because civil means to be polite and be nice, a bit like common, and then enforcement, yeah, means the process of making people obey a rule, yeah? I'd say law, because the law, again, is no harm, no loss, no injury to another being. So, I would expect people to obey that, and I believe that majority of the people do. And the only reason why you see so much bad thing is because they're all playing games in the background, killing each other for power and for who's going to make this, and then blaming it all on us, keeping us dumbed down and paying for it all. You only have to watch movies and you'll see that you're just these between them lines of what you're being shown actually happens. There's so many true stories in films that they tell you. So, as I say, read between the lines and you should be able to pick up from the movie to when they're giving you a drop. Because they would just bring certain names into things, or anyway, that's down to everybody else's learning how the program works. But so yeah, as I say, enforcement is making a particular situation happen or to be accepted. So again, if you do not consent to being enforced, and I don't think really I need to go on any further than that. As I said, the process is a computer. So if any enforcement, someone doing their job, then they're just doing a process they read out of a book, yeah? And remember, anyone that's enforcing you is never a law, because it's rule. Just a rule, yeah? Legal, as I'll show you here, because I do like to break it down, mix it up a bit. You can connect the dots. That's what it's about, I suppose. Right here, as it says connected with the law. Say legal, connected. It says law, then connected. Well, that contradicts it, because it can't be connected to law and then be law. Alright, so again, allowed by law, that's because we don't know our own law, because we wasn't taught. And again, legal is just a bit of paper, standard size bit of paper. There you go. And that means because we got spellcasted, as I said before, into the spelling, that spell from young. Remember, this has happened to us all since we were toddlers. So there's no one can say, oh, this isn't true. because you've just been brainwashed since you're a toddler to be accepting what you see in front of your eyes and for what the regurgitated bullshit that's been going around for the last 100 years on repeat, with a few wacky bits in the middle to make us even more stupid, like wearing Crocs. So, as you can see here, connected with or allowed by the law. And again, if you don't understand your law, then you're just playing in a legal fiction, believing everything on that paper. And then because someone's found a little loophole, now you believe that little loophole in that legal loophole is your saving grace. And I'm not saying it can't beat you, that's why they have legal battles. But again, I'm here as a man, not a playground monopoly. And I'm not paper. Yeah, so as I say, right, again, I just want to go into this as well because I really need to do this. And because remember, the set of political principles, yeah, state, organisation, yeah, rights of the people it's governed. So basically, Constitution is the one that gives you the rights. Again, under common law, you take your right back because realistically, yeah, because there's some of this is crap, and I would cross things out if I knew how to do it on this, but I can't. So, you know, the general state of someone's health, Constitution, simple as that, yeah? As quickly, state, condition, yeah, condition of a way of being, yeah. See, this is what we're doing when there's the state of play. So when you're in the Constitution, as again, so read between the lines because it does tell you, you just got to recognise that all acts and statutes have been dissolved since 2001 and they're just keeping you in a state of play because you're in a condition under Constitution health. Yeah? And then all the rest of it is just put in there to keep you divided. Yeah, and remember this is about individual power, not trying to live under another system where other people have work. It's called independence. So again, state, write something. Yeah, state, write something. So again, we know legal is paper and anything written on it. Only if you believe that to be true, then you will create it in your life. Yeah, as it says, created by the state government. Yeah, created. Remember, it's created. Right, okay, so let me just move in. I just wanted to break it down because I don't want people getting confused with common law and mixing them up with a constitution because they're two different things. One's the slave labour. They used the common law, then they used the constitution, and then they just carried on building from there offwards. So remember, your common law is your basics and the constitution is just a state of your condition and health. All right, so hopefully I've broken that down for you enough. Right, I'm going to switch over back here because I think it's important. And as you see, it says no obstructing. Yeah, I'm sure you can understand what no obstructing is. No making false allegations. So again, let's go on to the second one. No obstructing. So if you cause no harm, no loss, no injury, and you got raided by the police because they've made assumptions that you might be selling drugs or something like that, and I'm not saying that you should, because obviously that's the whole point of me fighting for what I'm fighting for, but I'm just saying, you know, and you've not caused no harm, no loss or no nothing, and then you get bursted into because they're making assumptions, or even if they find anything, then realistically, if you haven't done no harm, no loss, then there is no reason that you can't stand up and use this, because again, no one can interfere with anyone else. It's all down to someone else to take their own responsibility. And if, you know, as I say, I'm not interested in this, but I need to break down what the law is and how it works, so people are not, you know, people will be asking these sort of questions. Well, how does this work then, and how does that work? Well, as I say, It would be down to everybody to take their own responsibility for their own actions. And if anyone is selling stuff that they shouldn't be, in the sense of knowing what is right and wrong, yeah, on a higher level, I mean, as well, because I don't think smoking. I think smoking weed, you'd rather should be eating it than smoking it. I think they brainwashed us for that, if anyone's interested in that. But the thought of eating it, unless it's in a cake or something, doesn't feel right. But I'm just saying, anything else in that framework, if you've not harmed or hurt anyone, then realistically, you're the one that's being obstructed. If you're walking down the street and a policeman obstructs you, or even someone else tries to obstruct you to get your purse, then it's a crime. Yeah? So this is easy, because this goes for basically everyone, and this is so easy as well, because once you get to the third one, all these twos and ones come back into play again. Yeah, because as soon as someone makes you false allegations, then it means that they've acted to conspire, and then they've come along to your home to obstruct you. Yeah, so again, the only way that anyone's going to be making false allegations is if they're bringing you a fake warrant. And if anyone brings you a fake warrant, and people will say, oh, it needs a signature from the judge and blah, blah, blah. Remember that you only can be taken to court if there's a victim. So even if there was a signature on it, it's still invalid, because if you haven't called a victim, then no one's got the right to call you up, because again, that would be conspiring. And to even get your details in the first place, to make this assumption, they would need to share your data, which you're going to start protecting. So again, no making false allegations. Anyone comes round, we already know that third-party contracts do not exist. So if they do not exist, the warrant that they've got doesn't exist, because they've not got a contract to back the warrant up. And regardless if it's got a signature on it, it's just making false allegations. So again, when it comes to bailiffs, remember, I sue a man for £2,000 a day, and I will push it until I get it to court, or I will use it to fear them off. There's bigger things that we could be fighting than taking bailiffs and stuff to court. But again, if you're brave enough and you want to do it, then you can make £2,000 a day, and it's up to you when you go for a jury. Again, you're not taking these to anything else but a jury. So, there's ways of doing it. If you are got courts coming up, you only have to be polite and say, look, I'd like to do this in front of a jury. That is all you got to do. There is no argument in a court, because they haven't got the right to argue again with you, because if they do, trying to tell you their jurisdiction, then they are conspiring against you. So again, everything works in your way when you recognise your power and how to use your words. Yeah? Okay. So this is going to be a little bit deeper. So this is for people that might be already in a situation of a threat, or something's going on, the police haven't done their job, or someone else has done something, etc. So this is just, these bits are a little more deeper, but hopefully they're self-explanatory. Again, there are only 10 commandments, really. You know what I mean? So we haven't got to worry about it, because the rest is bullshit. And if you stand under these 10 commandments and recognise what's being done wrong to you, when you feel that you're being anxieties, instead of lunching out, we have got the power and the fear to use money and courts, because we'll know how to use them. Right, so number 4, it says no interfering with witnesses and juries. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So, if I'm in a court case and a judge decides to jump in because he doesn't like what I've said, then he would be interfering with the defendant, or anyone. So, always remember that if anyone, because they're a judge, remember, to me, a judge is someone that stands in the middle, like a referee in boxing, and he's there to just listen to both sides. The jury decides, not the judge, yeah? If you go into a court where it's down to a judge to decide the outcome, then you're just being spammed and done up the arse. Simple. Yeah. Remember, doesn't matter where you go. 3 times you only have to ask, and then you have the right to walk out of a court. Yeah, because it means that there would be conspiring. And it doesn't matter what they say, as long as you stay on the script, then you're always going to win. Because they ain't going to want to deal with someone that keeps saying you're conspiring against me, and then they keep doing it as you're telling them. It makes no sense. It ends up becoming like a stupid child argument, but the only difference is you have the power to take it further, because an idiot doesn't wake up, and an idiot will stay asleep, and an idiot will just keep going on. So again, if as I say, it's going to become a man's world now, and I'm not going to back down. And the quicker I can get this off my chest and get this out for people to understand, the quicker then we can actually start coming together and actually start doing some justice. Because, this is your power. As I say, individual power, strength in numbers. You use this to beat your own situation and your lifestyle, the power will grow. And I know that because it was down to me to try this, and I've been doing it for a very long time, and it's all working in my favour. So I wouldn't want to keep it to myself if I can give it to you and you can make sense of it. As I say, let go of all that legal glitch and stand in this and just carry on with your life and do what you need to do, and know that you've been got nicely. You're all right. So, number 5, concealing evidence. So, for example, at the moment, got a court case, and I want all the video evidence for that day, and I have all mine, and I've been to the police station for it's been a year, well, it'll be a year and a half by the time I actually get to my court case in July, which I'm hoping that I can get everyone to, because I will be using all of this and much more. And the way that I've learned, it's all starting to become natural. So I can't even tell you the outcome, because I'm going in there just with this, and with what I know, and whatever comes out on that day will come out, because it doesn't work for me to write things down, because there is many different ways that, depending what these people say, it will just come out how it needs to come out. As I said, I'm very fluent in this. I've been studying. If people knew how much I've studied this, well, you can see how much I've studied it, because I'm bringing this to you. So again, concealing evidence, police holding evidence, we'll fill out one of them Freedom Request Acts, etc., etc. You haven't got to do that. Yeah, you've got your own right. If you ask for evidence that has been with your face in it, then you have the right. If you haven't, then they're concealing evidence against you, period. So all of this, you have to write a Freedom Request Act and all this bullshit to get anywhere, is just another process that prolongs you getting actually the justice that you deserved in the first place. Again, no assisting others. There you go. So think about it like this. 2 different ways. As I said, the bailiffs have got no contract between you. So when them 2 turn up, they are conspiring, and they're assisting each other to conspire. Plus, they plotted in secret in the beginning of it, and now they're acting treasonous because they're trespassing. Yeah, so police, they work in 2s. So, if they want to get you into a contract, you need to say your name for them to be able to do their job. And they will use threats. Again, if they're using threats and they've got others with them, then they're assisting, they're conspiring, and they're acting against you. All right, okay. So, failing to prosecute, again, the stuff with the courts. Remember that a judge isn't there to judge you. The judge is there to be the ref. That's how I look at it. He's there to be the ref. If you're both defendants until one of you has been proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. As simple as that. Yeah. So, failing to prosecute, perjury. Again, as I say, once someone's made false allegations, once they've done that, then you know that they've already conspired, and you know that they're acting upon it, and they're calculated. They're calculated, yeah? They're calculated to do it, yeah? Perjury, no harm, no loss, no injury. to another being. That's it. And everyone's entitled to a fair trial, which I keep saying. You know, you're only going to get anywhere unless you, the ones that say, I want it where you want it. You know, you could be taken to any court for whatever situation you're in, but unless you open your mouth and say, I want this into a fair trial, then you'll be able to do your own style. Remember, this isn't about hiring people to do the job for you. This is about you taking your power back under common law. Yeah? Hopefully it does. Again, just let me go over this for people that get stuck, because I know people do. And as I say, common law, common is courtesy, decency, the basics level of politeness, and for respect. Again, as I say, if you do no harm, no loss, no injury, you haven't caused the victim, so everything else is down to statues and fear programming propaganda. Common knowledge, a fact that everyone should know what their law is and rights are. Again, your rights are whatever they want to, as long as you haven't harmed anyone. As it says here, common is to share. Again, law is land, air and water. So again, when we're born on it, the only way that we got here is through our fictional legal paper in this system. So when you let go of that, you'll realise that the land and everything on it, water, air, is already yours. And everything you're paying for is fraudulent to cause wars, dividends, religion, and much, much more. And we should be doing this for the common good. Yeah, if something is done for the common good, it is done to help everyone. And that is exactly what I'm trying to do. Make common calls with someone, yeah, to make them recognise, act together with someone in order to achieve something. Now, I'm not trying to act in any order to achieve anything. I'm just saying to people that if you break down these words a little bit more, you'll see that we all live under a common law jurisdiction, but we wasn't taught the correct language for us to be living in it, and now everyone gets scared because we believe that man holds power over man. And again, if we use our senses, the abilities, you know, we can hear, smell, taste, and the only one that we don't do, because we don't understand these emotional traumas that we've been going through and our triggers, yeah, is feel. So if anyone is out there and they're feeling a little bit down or feeling a little bit, then honestly, go and have a walk. Make sure you're out eating healthy food. I always like to let people know that an alkaline body is one of the best bodies to probably be in. You know, I know it's not always easy to make change, but an alkaline body, no diseases can live in it. Please go and do your own research. But if you're in an alkaline body, then that will, well, basically look at it like this. Mucus is what causes most diseases in the body in the first place. So if you've got mucus stuck up in tissues somewhere in your body and you don't know it, because mucus doesn't always have to sit on the lungs, and you'll get, that could be the cause of why we're getting diseases. And they won't recognise that. And the only way that you can clear your way and your airways with that would be an onion. Or, you know, I know, as I say, it's hard to change certain things in life, but as we make our way and start learning, I think people would feel the gratitude that if people could recognise that an alkaline body state, yeah, green veg, nuts, you know, the stuff, the minerals that were meant to be getting out of the ground instead of the fast food crap that they put out. You know, I eat good brain food, and I try to eat, I do like a chocolate biscuit though, I can't help myself. Can't help myself on that one. But as I say, if you get any diseases, especially the C word, an alkaline body would be the best state to get in, because cancer can't live in a alkaline body. So, you know, as I said, you do your own research. That's up to you to do your own research, but I'm just doing my own research, and I just know that alkaline, I know that no diseases can live in an alkaline body, and I've known that because I've been a football player for all my life, and I didn't really think about it. And this is what's crazy, because I've always known alkaline body is always, no diseases could live in it, but it's never actually clicked when it comes to all of this stuff on the TV, because you just believe what you've been told. So, as I say, go and do your research on that. Let me just finish this through. So, you know, if you commit any of these crimes, it is perverting the course of justice. And as I said, that would be down to you to recognise it. Let's just have a quick look here. Now, if you're not sure who runs the countries, then, or what you've heard on the TV, but if we all lived under this law, then we wouldn't have perverts, and we wouldn't have children paedophiles, and we certainly wouldn't have homeless, and everyone would have their own house. Fact. Law gives us equal balance and equal justice, and it opens so much doors for every single man, woman and child on this planet. But it'd be down to us to take it back. So pervert, to change something that is not what it was or should be. So that says it all, because the perverts are the one that's got us in this legal fiction, so they could pervert on our children and more. Yeah, remember that, you know, all these prisons that you believe are they're all private prisons, and they're all coming out of your trust fund, the one that you was born with, which they stole and put on the stock market in the first place. So again, pervert is to influence someone in a harmful way. So conspire, perverting, pervert. You can see it, you know. A person whose sexual behaviour is, well, we know this, yeah, we should know that anyway. Well, all I want to break down is this, because it just says it here, to change something that is not what it should be. Yeah? So if you're getting on with your life and you've got bailiff coming in, then they're trying to change something that shouldn't be because you don't consent. They are perverting the course of justice. If a policeman approaches you and pulls you up and you do not consent and there isn't a victim, regardless of what's in the car, if you haven't caused the victim, unfortunately, until there's a victim, we can't do anything. But the more people that learn all of this, you'll see that we don't need police, we don't need military, we don't need anything. We just need to help each other. We all live under one roof anyway, so the best thing would just be to come together and get it done, do what we need to do. There is plenty of gifted people in the world. Like, you have to look in The Awakening to see all the people that are breaking this information down. That's a class in itself. Yeah, but we're coming away from that, but that doesn't mean that you can't use the stuff that we had, you know, and bring it forward for the good. You know, again, when you take everything back and you own everything, and you only got to keep up with a bit of petrol money, a bit of food, and whatever else you like to keep in on the matrix, you'll realise that you can just become an independent man or woman, and you ain't got to worry about everything else, because all you got to do is recognise that anyone that does all of these up here, if they don't follow these 10 commandments, then they're just perverting the course of justice. And there is a lot in the matrix that can make people pervert the course of justice, because, let's be honest, this system was designed to only for us to fight in it. So again, you can get away with murder in a legal system. You can't get away of murder under the law. So it doesn't matter your job title, what act or job role you work at. Under common law, if you do not break, then everything else you thought to be law is nothing but a man's rule, just to stop blocking you, but to give them a position of power and then put them on a salary, so then it looks like they're doing a good job. Good job. Well, I like to call it job's worth, because that's what you are. Job's worth. Only those that want a job to control the people. Yeah? Common equals grand equals sense equals knowledge equals courtesy equals law. Law equals land, air and water. Law is balance, equal and respect, plus you get equal justice. LawFare, another key word to breaking all of this down, the use of legal action to cause problems for an opponent. Legal is only connected to law. Legal is paper, certificate, death certificate, your name on it, and then your creation of slavery on what job you've been programmed to do and choose. Legal, we want to program a two-person infinity game where the player must perform acts. Alternative, legal, paper, moves, because you consent, until one of them, the loser, cannot move. Well, when everyone realises that us all at the bottom divided are the ones that are losing out, and the ones at the top are taking everything for in a legal system and breaking all the laws, again, lose your name and the game ends. Stop letting people claim your name, and recognise if anyone is just making claim on your name and you don't know who they are, because you don't want just some random, you don't know if they're going to be sexually harassing you, you don't know who they are. So let's remember, under your own jurisdiction, anyone that you do not want to be interfered with, regardless of who it is, this is what you use. And again, if you need help breaking it down, I'm happy to help. I will be doing one-on-ones, so again, I know I'm trying to do it as easy as possible to give you the information, and hopefully people can start letting go of the legal procedure and start using the evidence that they've actually got, yeah, and applying this to it. Again, I know the law like it's the back of my hand because I'm here to create it, and I don't want anything from it, but I just want our children to be safe and to stop being stolen, and for them to be able to, and for them kids to enjoy life as much as they want, go wherever they want to go without no hindrance, no interference, and just know how to protect themselves against anyone. But again, as I say, once everyone understands this, life comes back to every single man and woman and child, because it opens all the doors for you. All you got to do is let go of the ego and opinion that you have been created. As I say, the born free is to let go and be free. You know, that's what you are. You were born free, and then you were created and programmed to live in a legal fiction, monopoly. Why do you think they can make the monopoly up? Yeah, and chess. Anyway, guys, I really do hope that helps. See down here before I go, because I'm going to go now, but see this 111, 11, 11. Now, you might see synchronicity in numbers, so let me just leave this with you. Now, have a good read of that. Go with what resonates, guys. Yeah. And remember, it's about emotions. And remember, whatever triggers your emotions up, you need to learn to control them. So meditate, go for walks. And I only learned all of this because I just kept looking in my mirror in my work van, and just did so many different scenarios on how I would beat these people if they approached me. And this is what I come up with after 3.5 years of being involved with it. And then since that, 2 years, since a year and a half, something like that, feels like forever for me now, but I've been trying to get this out, and I can't see anyone else out there that teaches you what the law is, only how to stay and be in legal loopholes. So again, as I say, take what resonates. I've got nothing to gain, but I'd like to leave you with this as my last. And I don't want to leave you with this. I want to leave you with this. guys. Bear with me. I wasn't going to do... But...
Chill, don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well babe, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Found your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate, separate and segregate. Don't celebrate quite yet, the storm is coming, cue for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate. The values of our country and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you
I know
now.
the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it. Deflected by some breaking news, oh we just accept it. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objective, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, blind, not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. We need you now. We need you now. One day, one day, one day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you.